lovelies, it's Kate. Welcome back to another video. It's time for another mansion in Del Valley, and I decided to build a Bel Air themed mansion. At least this is what I decided to call this mansion. It's a super luxurious mansion on a 50 by 40 lot in Del Valley, and I put a huge focus on the garden, and I was kind of inspired to build a blue garden. Like, there are lots of blue elements. This is why I built this basketball court, and I also decided to change the color of the pool so it's super blue. For this, as you will see, I used a different wall color and floor color, and here I wasn't sure which furniture to use for this area, because at first I wanted this to be super blue as well, but then I couldn't find anything that I really liked, and here you can see how I changed the color. This is a nice little trick if you want to change the appearance of your pool. We have different watercolors that we can choose from, but it's always a great idea to simply change the color of the walls and the floor and the pool. Here I'm building a house, a pool house, and I later on decided to turn it into a proper house for a butler or maybe for a teenager sim. I included a kitchen, a bathroom, just anything you would need. So this is a house in itself, and you could let a butler move in, as I said. So there's just anything your sim needs, and this just shows that this lot is pretty big, because this alone is pretty much a whole house or a whole build. So I just wanted this to be very fancy, and this is why I included this. And this always makes sense if you have vintage glamour stuff, and if you want to have a butler, then this is always a good choice. I used lots of palm trees, many of them, and for this I used the palm trees from Island Living. In my opinion, they are the best. We also have base game palm trees, but these are just so beautiful. I really like the textures, I love the colors, they are so vibrant, and I just love them. And then I decided to have kind of a path that has a slight curve, and for this I placed a round rock. This is my guideline. I like to do this, and then I used this small rock which is part of Get Together, and then I used some Journey to Batu debug rocks. I know not everyone really enjoys this pack, but I really love these debug rocks, and they are perfect for all kinds of different builds, really. I mean, this doesn't look like Star Wars at all, so it's just a really versatile pack when it comes to debug, in my opinion. So I decided to use these rocks to have this little pond. And first I wasn't sure which watercolor to use, but then I used this, which has some petals on top. And then these decorations that I placed right on the half wall are also part of Journey to Batu. There's lots of great stuff in debug when it comes to this pack. And I just wanted to have this beautiful decorated garden. I wanted to have some really modern elements, the pool area and all that. But then I also wanted to have some really natural looking elements, which is why I also placed this debug object right on the floor. It just makes the floor look a bit more natural, so I have a balance. And then I created another pond using the same method. I had to use tool to lower this into the ground because of the foundation. Some rocks were kind of floating, so I simply lowered them into the ground, and I filled the whole area using the pool tool. You can also use the fountain tool for stuff like this. The problem is, depending on what you want to build, you can't place anything above a fountain, so I always like to use a pool for this. And you can simply block off the pool if you don't want your sims to jump in. I'm not even sure if the debug rocks are actually blocking your sims path. I'm not sure right now. And what I have to say, what I really enjoy about these rocks, and I know that this is also the reason why some people don't like them, they have a insanely good texture. It almost looks like alpha CC. The textures are very different from most of the textures in this game, and this is why they look so hyper realistic almost, and they just look great depending on the build and depending on the style and what you are kind of going for. And as I said, the palm trees also look quite realistic, and they are just a perfect match. And here I decided to have a sunken area inside the pool, so I was able to place a hot tub on the inside. For this I simply removed a part of the pool, then I removed a part of the foundation, and all that was left was a hole inside the pool basically. And then I just built my hot tub down there, and then I decided to decorate the basketball court a little bit. At first I wasn't sure if I had placed the little, like the court itself, the white pattern thingy, if they were facing into the right direction. I wasn't sure because I'm not big on basketball or sports in general, so I had no idea. And when I was completely done with the whole thing, I looked it up finally, and I was like done recording, done with the thumbnail and just everything. And then I thought, oh my god, I hope it's facing into the correct direction. And then I googled it and I was super relieved. And then I built a round room using the tool mod and some windows. These are again the eco-lifestyle windows. Recently I've always used the eco-lifestyle ones. As I've said, they look very similar to the base game ones, but they have a thinner frame, which is why I prefer them. And I just arranged them this way. There's a tutorial for this on my channel if you are interested. And then I picked a round piece of foundation. I always use the one with the fence attached to it. I made it small on both sides. I merged two of them together to have a perfect half circle, and then I placed it right on top of my round room. Like it's a fake room, because it's just windows. People sometimes ask this. It's just a fake room. It's perfect to have some type of sunroom, so it's technically still on the outside. It's not a proper room. Maybe one day we will have round rooms, but who knows? I'm still hoping, not giving up here. I'm still hoping for round rooms. I just love round rooms, and even if we shouldn't get them in Sims 4, maybe we will in Sims 5, and in Paralyzed there will definitely be some round rooms, and I'm really hyped for Paralyzed personally. I know that some people were like, yeah, Sims 4 is bad, Paralyzed is amazing, and others were like, no, only The Sims is great. But all I'm saying is why not both? Like, I love The Sims. The whole Sims franchise means so much to me. I'm a player for 2 decades now, and I'm still open to try a new game. This doesn't mean that I have to abandon my other favorite game or something, so I'm just really open to the idea of checking out Paralyzed when it comes out, checking out Build Mode especially, of course, and as soon as this game comes out, when I don't know when, but when it comes out, then we will definitely check it out here on this channel. Let me tell you, there will be some round worlds and different things, and I'm really excited about this personally. Let me know in the comments down below, are you excited for Paralyzed? Will you check it out when it's out, or do you even know what Paralyzed is? Because sometimes I feel like I'm so much inside the Sims bubble that I sometimes forget that people outside of this bubble don't really know what's happening. And inside this Twitter Sims bubble, like Sims Twitter, I think everyone knows about Paralyzed at this point. And it's become quite popular in general. I'm not saying that you have to be a Simmer to be excited for Paralyzed, but I feel like not everyone has kind of heard of this game yet, but you should totally check it out if you haven't heard of it yet. Google it. Paralyzed is amazing, and it's also going to be a simulation game, and we will be able to build, and it will be fun from what we've seen so far. And for the house itself, it's really simple. Like, I feel like the star of this build is the garden. The house is relatively simple. I used some Realm of Magic windows. They are perfect for a build like this. They're just perfect for this type of aesthetic, which is amazing because these Realm of Magic windows are like super versatile. You can use them to create some spooky builds, and we are definitely going to do that very soon. It's spooky season finally, but they are also perfect for any type of mansion, especially this type of style. I feel like I just love them. They're amazing. They come in different swatches, and I'm just so happy that they gave us this super basic swatch, because they are, I mean, why not? This would make lots of objects in this game more versatile. And then I placed some vines on the exterior. These are part of Discover University. It's a debug object. And again, the texture is very alpha. They are much different from the other vines that we have in this game. There are some from Get Together, for example, and they are also very alpha. They just look so different. And in combination with these debug works here and with my good old Adam Living Palm Trees, it's just magical. It makes the whole build look so much more realistic when you look at it. I mean, it's just The Sims still, but these little details can make a build look more real and just a bit different. I just love this look. I know a lot of people don't like it, also when it comes to CC, but as I've said it before, but when I used CC back then, I loved Alpha CC like a lot, especially for Cass CC when I created Sims. I just loved it, and also for Build CC actually. I don't know, just a lot of fun. I just like it. Then I added a small gate so your Sims will be able to actually access the whole basketball court. And I made it bigger than the court itself. Like there's like a little gap, like some area around it where I placed benches. And at first I wanted to place a window right below the balcony, and this looked horrible. Like at this point when I was building it, I was fine with it. But when I zoomed out, I was like, what is this? This doesn't look good. Sometimes you just have to take a closer look to realize that, I guess. And then I decorated the front. Of course, I wanted to have the same style. And what was confusing, but I didn't want to change it, I used different wall heights for the different levels. There are 2 levels, and the level at the bottom is the lowest wall height, and the top level is the mid wall height. So I don't know, I just decided on this in the beginning, especially because of the pool house. I tried the other wall height at first, but then the pool house looked so tall and weird, even like it's so tiny, it's really small as you saw, and any other wall height just didn't look right to me. So I had to settle for the lowest wall height for the whole floor, and then I decided to have just like the middle wall height, the mid wall height for the top floor. And this is why I was only able to use these Realm of Magic windows on the top floor, unfortunately, but I simply used some Equalized style ones at the bottom. I still wish we could change the wall height just for different buildings on one lot. Basically, the pool house is technically completely separated from the rest of the build. It would be amazing if we could have a different wall height for a separate building, just like we can now have different foundation heights. Maybe this will be added at some point, I'm not sure, but this would be amazing, because in situations like this it just kind of alters the whole look of the whole build. And also I know that a lot of people don't really enjoy to work with the tallest wall height, but for me it just feels like home because I'm using it all the time. I'm just so used to it. And this wall height here, now that I'm furnishing, it's really difficult. Also when I'm taking screenshots at the end, I'm so used to really using this really tall wall height, the whole space, and adding just decorations, paintings, and it just looks so grand and beautiful. And it's really difficult for me to make it look really luxurious and beautiful with this wall height, but I guess you just have to get used to it probably. And I want to be more versatile when it comes to these things. And at least the cabinets aren't this high up, because I'm really bad with this, and I know a lot of builders are, like lots of mansion builders are really bad with this, and I'm definitely guilty of this. I always place the cabinets so high up. I get so many comments of people saying, yeah, how are they supposed to reach it? I'm like, it looks good, they don't have to reach it. Maybe they have a invisible ladder. I don't know, it's just decoration. And I don't know, it's not hyper realistic, but lots of things in my builds aren't that realistic, to be honest. But it just looks so good when the cabinets are so high up. At the same time, it looks really ridiculous because it doesn't make a lot of sense, but I don't know, it looks beautiful. Also, I've recently read that it's much more modern and just common to have cabinets that end right below the ceiling. Like, it's much more common, at least here in Germany, and I think in many countries actually, to have like a gap between the ceiling and the cabinet. And the problem is, of course, you always have to clean up there. Some people just put some stuff up there which doesn't look too nice, but I mean, it's always the same. Doesn't matter if you have a basement, an attic or something. If you have some space and you just need some space, then usually you will use it, and then you might just put something there even though it doesn't look good when it comes to the cabinet in this case. And it's really cool to just have a cabinet that ends right below the ceiling. So first of all, you don't have to clean up there, and second of all, you have more space and you can just put other things that you rarely use, maybe once a year or something up there, and you can just use a small ladder thingy. I don't know what the word for this is, like this super small ladder that you just get out and you use it, not like a proper ladder, of course. And you can just put anything up there that you don't need that often, and in the cabinets below you just have your plates and just daily stuff, and I really like that. And here I think I've invented this, because look at this, look at the cabinets right below the ceiling. Now of course you would need like another layer of cabinets below, but I think it's a great thing. If I should ever plan a kitchen like this, like really planning, not just buying a kitchen, just actually planning a kitchen, I would do it this way. I think it also looks really great. I like it. This is like really smart. This way you don't have all these problems. I think it's interesting how these things just changed when it comes to furniture, like interior, what's common. Also, like back then, people used to have these huge dressers, especially also here in Germany. People like had these huge dressers. They would take up a whole wall in the bedroom, for example. And now it's so different. People are more minimalistic in many ways, and also when it comes to like these huge cupboards that were really common for living rooms, and now it's like much more simple, and I don't know, things are changing. So also I have to make a fun announcement, as you guys know by now, because I mentioned it a lot. We have a Discord server, a community Discord server, and there's going to be a poll soon, and the poll is going to determine a build. So it's going to be like Discord decides my build, like my speed build, and I'm really excited about this. There will be lots of fun options, lot size, style, all kinds of different things. My wonderful mod Sadie is going to take care of this, and it's going to be really fun. So you can maybe pick some choices which are rather uncommon for me. You could give me a really hard time if you would like to, or you could just simply choose what you would like to see, and I think it's going to be really fun. The poll is going to be live very soon, and I think it will be fun. I'm like really excited for this. I'm really particular when it comes to the stuff that I really want to build and can build, and I think that this is going to be really, really difficult for me. Like when a pack comes out that is not my style, I already struggle. Think of the Star Wars pack, for example. I was having such a hard time, and this could be really challenging too, and at the same time it's exactly what you guys are wishing for, which I really enjoy. This is like amazing. I'm really, really excited about this. This was my mod Sadie's idea, and it's just like, it's so fun. I can't wait. So if you want to join, you can find the link to the Discord down below in the description box. It's generally the community Discord for having a chat, sharing builds and sims, and all kinds of different things. There are even some build and cast competitions. There's a lot happening, so check out the Discord. We are happy if you join, and we are growing. We are now at almost 650 members, I think, so it's really fun. And here I'm working on one of the kids' rooms. I just love the Desert Valley light. You guys just know it. And look at this. It's such a beautiful sun-flooded room. I made it really colorful. And this sofa is part of my first pet stuff. The most hated pack, or the second hated pack at this point, because of the Star Wars pack, I think. I know just that a lot of people didn't like it. It's just the truth. I love them both. I'm really happy with the Star Wars pack because of the bug and different things. I also enjoy my first pet stuff pack because of the sofa and the curtains. I'm just happy with all these packs because of Build By, but I mean, this is, let's be real, this is like not the most well received pack of all time. I know it's like a lot of people aren't that happy with my first pet stuff, but yeah, I think the sofa is beautiful. And there are 4 bedrooms in total. I included 2 kids' rooms, so you would have enough space for your Sims if you should let them move in. And it's like a family home. And I mentioned at the same time, I didn't want to only include stuff for like a bachelor pad or something. I really wanted to include kids' rooms, so it's a proper family mansion. And this here is the pool house. On the right side, you can already see the bathroom. I didn't include it in the speed build because there are too many of them. And then I decided to add a bed. At first, I wanted to have a double bed, but there wasn't enough space really, so I used like this bed. And there's anything your Sims will need: a kitchen, a bed, a sofa, a TV, and also the bathroom, so they can live in this building. They don't even have to enter the main house if you don't want them to. Like if you, I don't know, any Sim could live in there. I don't know what kind of storylines you guys are playing, but any Sim could live in there. You could even lock them out of the main house. Wouldn't make too much sense for a butler, but maybe, I don't know, who's going to live in there. And this is it, guys. Thank you so much for watching. I hope that you enjoyed this build. As always, you can find this in the gallery, fully furnished, unmodded, CC free, so as Sims can move right in. My gallery ID is KateEmerald, but you can also find all the information down below in the description box. I hope that you have a perfect day and week, and I hope I see you in the next video. Bye bye!